Okay, uh, this is Randy again, and I'm ready to start the second part of this series of discussions and training on the VAR Cruiser applications. This part is getting the app from test flight, which is I'll now go there and we'll just discuss it in context. Okay, and this is where I left off with the actual Avenza functionality, which right now is a companion app to the Form Connect application we started with. All right, so right now I downloaded this from the App Store. The downloading from the free from the App Store was not a problem for me. It was getting it set up and initiated to the point where it would actually communicate with our development computer. Uh, Subsequently, I'm told it's gotten a lot easier. I think it took me and another fellow about an hour to get it going. It involves all manner of usernames and a couple of passwords, and then in the end, an actual email has to be sent from the Apple development computer that Chess uh, has to send you. Chess is the young man that has built this application for us. He has designed it in a software called Xamarin, which is a C# Visual Studio uh, version of developing for the iPad. Very difficult procedure as far as getting lined up. We presently have gotten our official whatever that makes us an Apple development. We have a professional Apple developers status. All right, so now that this is configured, I will simply click on test flight. It brings me. Oh, yeah, and now yeah, there. I have to kind of wiggle the screen to make it update. Sometimes it freezes. I'm using a piece of software called Reflector 2. You can see this over here. That allows you to communicate with your iPad. So I'm going to install the app, and this is what you'll find when it finally when you get your test flight, assuming you're going to upload it yourself. So I'm going to click install at this point, and it goes through its motions here. A couple of things. This test flight environment is temporary. It's for development and beta testing. Uh, we have to go through a formal certification and review, at which time we'll be going to the official professional Apple application environment for the iPad, and you'll simply will click on this app after entering a password, and it'll be available free of charge. Uh, the certification it's a design certification, making sure that it meets the highest standards that Apple imposes, and I feel fairly confident that our programmers is very much up to the task, and that certification will come quickly. But it could perhaps be a month or more before that occurs. And in the meantime, we're going to be using test flight to get the updates to the app. So you can open it from here, or as you know, you can close this, and now you can see the icon has been installed right here. And I'm going to start this for the first time from the icon and discuss what's going on here. Uh, when you first come in, right now the application, since it never existed on this machine, and it needs to have all of the foundational support information with it. So this is a first time entry into VAR Cruiser, and as such there are some rules that have to be followed. I'm going to tap on this environment here, and you'll see the first time through you get this. The only thing you can choose is first run, and the initials for that are ZZZ for whatever reason. Uh, the, the the thing that's important about this is that you need to, at this point, you have to add a password as well, because it is the first time through. Uh, so this would only be done by a cruise supervisor, certainly a cruise foreman. and probably even somebody in the office who sets up the iPads for the first time. They would click then on the password environment, and we would. And right now the password is 2345. It's a tricky one, and now we'll log in for the first time. So the first time through, you go to what we call settings. It's actually where the files are uh, at where we upload. If you look up at the top of the screen, right now the local data to upload is 0 plots and 0 trees. There's nothing on it. This is a completely empty environment at this point. So down below, and I'm specifically talking about here, we have to update these apps. We have to enter the species list, which won't be changing, but we may be taking species out that are accidentally getting entered. But the bottom line is this can be updated at any time just by clicking that, but it has to always be done by a cruise foreman. The broken top data, actually a height table. I'll be demonstrating how that's used. Uh, and it's really an important addition, and we have to update that. And then of course plots. This is the big guy to update. It has actually for the cruise area that we're in, which is Bull. You make a choice of what cruise area you want to be involved with, and then choose the plots accordingly. And then of course the users. These are actually the cruisers themselves. And we have a cruiser list that the cruise foreman builds. It's simply a Excel file. It's actually saved as a CSV. It's saved to a pre-designated folder environment that's in a Dropbox world managed by Alpine. So I'm going to go ahead and pursue this right now. First, I'm going to click the update of the tree species. And as you can see, it goes updating and then updated. There was a little green bar, a progress bar, but it happened very quickly. I'm now going to update the actual broken top data. And it's a little larger. Got to see a little bit of that. Now it's updated. And now I'm going to update the actual plots themselves. Here, it's necessary to actually make a choice. And I'm going to choose Bull this time to update. And so I'm loading the very first time. I'm loading all the plots that have been created and saved as the Bull plots. These, of course, include all the descriptive information as well. So I made a choice of Bull, and now I'm going to click Update right here. And this takes a little longer. There's actually about 5,800 plots, I believe, totally contained. So it's now loading the list that you'll soon see in VAR Cruiser. The same would occur for 9 Mile or any other cruise areas that we're presently acting on. It is our hope that there'll be quite a few cruise areas active next year with contractors, etc. Okay, it's about done now. And then last but not least, a list of the cruisers presently employed, and some of them are in training at this point. But I'm going to enter those, and I have to get the Bull cruisers, and that can be updated at any time as you add and fire cruisers. Or it is pretty dynamic world out there at the moment. So I'm going to update that at this point, right by clicking here. Of course, I'm hitting that with my finger. And now that's updated. And frankly, we're done at that point. We're ready to start entering data. So I simply am going to go back here and click to back at this point. By the way, under settings, the name of your iPad, you should set your iPad up with a name or some designator. It's probably the contractors will have their initials and the iPad 1, 2, 3, something like that eventually. Okay, I'm going to move over. I'm going to click back to go get started in the cruise process. Okay, I've come back here now, and now I need to enter as a cruiser, and I've got a guy that's going to train with me. So what I'm going to do, Andrew Van Sickle is now been added, and I'm going to add another cruiser at this point. And so you can see the plus sign there. I'm going to hit the plus sign, and then I'm going to add the DRK. And now DRK has been added. Oh, I just made a mistake. I didn't hit the plus sign. So I can change cruisers at any time, and that becomes the principal cruiser. So right now I've entered Drew R. Kelly, and I could go and get Sean Moore. Uh, so at this point, you can make calls for a single cruiser. But if you want to add other cruisers to this, and I would recommend you make the first cruiser like if in our world we have cruiser 1 and cruiser 2, where cruiser 1 is the more experienced of the group, and in fact cruiser 2, they're always in training and are generally with somebody for at least the first couple 3 weeks. So I'm going to click the plus sign right here, and when I do that, now I can add Drudell Kelly. You can see it's now showing us both names at that point. So with those two cruisers together, they're going to head out, and I'm simply going to press login. And this message comes up probably each morning, I suspect, not certain. But always click allow. This turns on your location services, and it's been a source of problems for us. But I think this application can manage that. So I'm going to click allow at that point. And important to now take a moment to discuss different aspects of see, logging in for the first time. Introduction, main screen. All right, I guess I'm at the end of where I want to be for right now. And then I'll pick this up in the next part of my training series.